have my layout for day 12 of the month-long Off the Board series that's going on for the whole month of July. We are looking through our Pinterest boards and finding different inspiration pieces, things in our boards that we've pinned years ago or just today, whenever it might be, from any different board, and just finding a way to use that inspiration to create a layout or a project. So Luna has decided she is going to make an appearance in all of my videos for this whole month. She's taken to just sitting beside me while I'm doing the voiceovers, and I think she's trying to figure out who exactly am I talking to. But yes, so the main idea is just finding those opportunities to actually use up some of the pins that you have in your boards. So whatever you find in any of your boards that kind of instantly jumps out to you and gives you that little spark of an idea or creativity, or inspires a design idea in your head, that's what you're going to use. So I showed you what my inspiration is at the beginning of the video. It's that gorgeous layout by Ingrid. I'll leave a link for it down below so you can go and check it out and pin it yourself if you'd like. I love these layouts. I love the really kind of like bold color and all the detail and the monochromatic look to it. It's equally busy and has tons and tons of little goodies nestled in all over, but it also is just really kind of simple because there isn't a ton of color. I usually pin layouts like this that are monochromatic. There's always lots of white space. So it's kind of my goal to create these gorgeous layouts that I see all the time and pin all the time. So I like to at least pick a few of these to do every year and kind of practice my technique. I don't know what kind of style you would call that, but it definitely is its own style, and there's some people who just do it so well, and I want to be one of those people. So I'm changing it up a little bit. I'm using a big 5x7 photo. I wanted to have this same sort of feeling of there's a bit of chaos in behind this photo, and there's lots of different color, but all within the green tones. So I wanted there to sort of be busyness, but also lots of white space. I hope that makes sense as I'm trying to explain it. It's more of a feeling than something you can put into words. But this photo is a picture of Kaylin at one of her dance competitions in 2019. And this is one of my favorite numbers that I've ever seen her be part of. It was just so bold and beautiful, and they were warriors in it. They were just, really strong. They had this beautiful strength to them and this beautiful sort of confidence to them. And but the movements were really organic, and I don't know, it was just really unique and a really nice number. And I kind of wanted to have all this mixed media in behind it and have this really sort of concentrated line of mixed media going through the picture, and then a lot of calm on the outsides. So I used some of my Prima watercolor crayons. I just went ahead. I knew that I'm not using watercolor paper, so I knew that they wouldn't completely blend and dissolve, and I kind of wanted that. I wanted a little bit of that texture. So I took some of the lighter colors, kind of that like a dirty yellow almost, and a little bit of green, and then a darker kind of teal, and then just use some water and a big brush to kind of get them wet and move them a little bit, and spread that color out as much as I could. But again, I knew that you would be able to see some of those lines. So that kind of added a bit of texture into the mixed media. And then while the paper was a little bit wet, but not super wet, I splattered a little bit of watercolor, and then I did some smushing. And so there's lots of different kind of looks and textures to the mixed media in that background. As the colors dried and I layered more on, and I was very informally mixing my colors. So there's a little bit more brown sometimes, a little bit more of a darker green, a little bit more of that kind of lime green. So just, smushing it and letting it kind of do its own thing. And when it was mostly dry, I went ahead and used the very last bit of my whipped spackle from Faber-Castell and just put a few little hearts with that heart stencil in sort of the top and the bottom where I knew that they would be peeking out from behind the picture. And again, that was just to add a little bit of extra texture and just something a little bit different. So while all of that was drying, I went ahead and created some layers behind my photo. And I just went into my Wild Whisper journaling cards and my stamp sets and picked out they have several versions of the adventure collection. They re-release it occasionally, and so there's sometimes it's more kind of on the blues, and the latest release was definitely more in the greens. And so I knew I would be able to find lots of earthy greens that match the costume she's wearing. And so that's what you saw me doing with the picture, was just taking some of those journaling cards and kind of just piecing them together very haphazardly. I ripped a couple of them and I left some of them straight and just kind of pieced them all together to create some really interesting layers around the photo. I did also cut the photo down just a little bit. I left it at 7 inches long, but I probably cut off about an inch, maybe like 3/4 of an inch on one side and 1/4 of an inch on the other side, just so it's a little bit more narrow. And then now that all of my paint and my whipped spackle is dry, I'm just stamping a bunch of different stamps. So these are from, again, Wild Whisper. The little triangles are from the More Adventure collection, and the little starbursts and stuff are from the Focus on You collection, and the feathers down at the bottom are from the Focus on You collection. And it's also very haphazard. That's what I need to work on, is not lining things up. I'm really good at doing that when I'm creating my layers, but when I'm actually doing the mixed media portion of it, I find you just naturally sometimes line everything up. And so that's why I was kind of stamping 2 and 3 times and just, not paying too much attention to where it might peek out from behind my photo and the layers. If it only peeks out the tiniest bit with 1 or 2 triangles, that's totally okay with me. I just wanted to kind of have that complete background, and then everything looks really intentional and purposeful when it does kind of come all together and you actually start putting it all together. So lots of little stamps there, and I wanted that kind of bold black color in the background as well, because her costume has some black details to it as well. So I went ahead and stuck my photo down, stuck that whole big kind of cluster down, and now I'm just going in with some extra little details of some stickers and enamel dots and things like that. Those stickers were from, I think it's called is it called Cool Dude? Yeah, I think it's the Cool Dude collection from Simple Stories. I just used a couple of the little kind of chevron arrows that they have. And there's some stars in there and dots. I think those are freckled fawn. It's all just my kind of random leftover bits of enamel dots and stickers and things that I keep in my little container. So I don't have all the packaging. Sometimes if I only have 2 or 3 enamel dots, I stick them into a different package. So sometimes I'll tell you that they came from somewhere and they actually didn't. But I definitely think that the little kind of hexagon shapes, those came from Basic Gray. So they're this sort of intense gold. And I wanted to put a bunch of those things down before I added my little nests, I guess you could say, of embroidery floss. I've got dark green and light green and a cream color and more of a yellowy color and then some brown. And I just kind of pulled the threads apart so that there's 3 instead of 6, and made these little nests, and then used my glue to hold them down. And I wanted some of the enamel dots and some of those kind of interesting little bits to be under the nests, and then I wanted some to be over top. So I think that's what makes this type of layout really interesting, is that there's just so many different layers, and every time you look at it, something else kind of catches your attention, and you see all the different little textures and things that are all layered up on each other. So once I had those down, I went into my stickers, and I found a couple of just random leaves or kind of fronds that I hadn't used up. I tend to use those first, any of the foliage. I kind of gravitate towards that because they're so quick and easy to use as layers and tuck into things. But on this particular sticker sheet, I think it's Jen Hadfield or Pebbles sheet, there were just a couple left. They're totally different in style and shape, but that's okay when you're doing a layout like this as well. All those little bits and pieces, they don't have to be repetitive or come from the same companies or have the same style to them. You just tuck them in, cut them where you need to cut them, and find the right little spot to nestle them in. And that's really the beauty of this kind of layout, is that everything is just really kind of unique and different, and there's all the layers, all the texture, all the fun little things to discover. And then I splattered some black. That is a Recollections mist that I have, and I thought I was done, and then I remembered I had actually pulled out this Bria Reese paint pen, which is it's such a dark blue, it's almost black, and I thought that it would make just a fun little addition where I could doodle something, but I didn't want to add any more kind of busyness to it, so I just did a couple little triangles and dots, kind of like a little chevron, because it's the texture, right? That texture is really fun. And so I'm glad that I went ahead and did that, but I did have the intention of maybe actually doodling something a little bit more that was kind of peeking out, but it rolled away from me and I forgot I had it. But that is my layout for today. This was so much fun to make, and I actually love how this one turned out. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, you can leave them for me down below, and please check out everybody else who's playing along today. There are people playing every day, and some are popping in and out throughout the month whenever they can. So check back often so you can follow all of those links and get tons and tons of inspiration. And I will be back tomorrow with day 13. So until then, happy scrapping. Bye.